in this case to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Please have a seat. The witness stand and state your full name for the record.
My name is Devonte Bryant.
Sorry about that. How old are you?
33.
Okay. Are you employed?
Yeah.
Where do you work?
Rutherford Company. It's a company out of
Say again?
Rutherford Company.
Where do you live?
Hopkins, South Carolina.
Man, you gotta speak up a little bit. I'm kind of-
Hopkins.
Hopkins, okay. Where did you
Right,
go?
if you'll speak up a little bit for us, our court reporter here is taking down everything you say. Just make sure you say yes, no, answer verbally. You know, we all understand what you mean when you nod your head, but make sure that you speak up a little bit, so you have to make a record of everything.
Okay.
All right?
Devonte, where did you grow up?
Like Fair Road area. I grew up in Bethel Bishop Apartments.
What are the Bethel Bishop Apartments?
It's meaning what?
What are they?
I mean, it's a. Today they still consider it as like the worst, one of the worst neighborhoods in Columbia.
Okay.
Things like that.
Is it a high crime area?
Yeah.
All right. Is it low income kind of housing?
Yeah.
Did you witness crime when you were growing up there?
Yeah, a lot.
Okay. Did you ever see teenagers with firearms?
Yes.
Was that common or uncommon in your experience?
Common.
Okay. Why do 14-year-olds have guns?
I mean, it's like.
No, I'm going to object to that. A lot of speculation. That's it right there. This is definitely not an expert.
I will allow it to the extent you can speak from personal knowledge, but not speculate about the general population.
Yes, sir. You were a 14-year-old kid once. Is that correct?
Yes.
And in your experience, did you ever see other 14-year-olds or other youths with firearms?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever, I'm just asking, honestly, did you ever have a chance to hold a gun when you were underage?
Yes.
Okay. Why did you feel compelled to hold a gun or carry a gun?
I mean, just seeing the stuff that's around me, trying to, fit in with people, and then, like growing up, you want acceptance. You want to be cool with everybody. You want everybody to like you. You want everybody to be around you.
Okay.
So you, follow what's going on.
All right. So in your experience in the areas you grew up with, guns were cool.
Yeah.
And would you have certain cachet? Do you know what that means? Would it help your reputation sometimes?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Can you explain that?
I mean, it's like I said, it's more like it's a acceptance thing. That's what it'll help with. Kids being cool with you being cool with other kids, you having an influence. You just not being talked about in a, how they say, a lame way with kids. You want to be popular or things like that.
Okay. So, in your experience growing up in the Bethel Bishop, was it common or uncommon to see people who were under the age of 18 with guns?
Common.
Okay. High crime area, Bethel Bishop. You yourself have been in some trouble. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
All right. And I got to ask you about some. I've got, as far as criminal convictions, in 2017 you got in a little bit of trouble, or maybe a lot of trouble. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I see a conviction for an accessory after the fact to a felony.
Yes, sir.
Did you plead guilty to that?
Yes, sir. I did. They gave me 5 years for that.
Okay. I see that you were convicted of a possession of a stolen vehicle. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I see that you got convicted of an auto breaking. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Okay. looks like that was about 9 years ago that you pled guilty. I don't know when did the crimes occur?
I can't remember exactly, but all of that, I played to all of those in one.
Okay. And that was 9 years ago, 2017?
Yeah.
Let's go to 3 years ago, May 28th of 2023. You remember that date?
Yes, sir.
You remember what you were doing on that day?
Yeah, I was going to my brother's house. Her brother's. I was meeting my girlfriend at her brother's house.
Okay. You meet your girlfriend?
At her brother's house.
I got you. Okay. And where did your girlfriend's brother live?
Greenbrier Apartments off of Park Lane.
Okay. Had you been to the Greenbrier Apartments before?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Was that an area you were familiar with?
Yeah, kind of. Just like going to his house, and her mom stays up the street too.
Okay. What were you driving at the time?
White Honda Accord.
All right. Do you remember what direction you were? I guess you would have turned off Park Lane Road.
Yeah, I was coming from the interstate, which is by the Circle K.
Okay. So then you would have taken a left or a right onto Springtree.
All right.
Right. Okay. Let me set it down. 14. All right. Do you recognize what we're looking at in States 14?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I understand you right, what is this building with the red?
That's the gas station.
All right. Can you see me, Devonte?
Yes.
All right. So you were coming up Park Lane and taking a right.
Yes.
Okay. States 15. All right. Keep going. 16. Okay. And this, where that car would have been, you were just going up and you would have taken a right.
Yeah, whatever the gray car is.
Okay. So let me have slide 20. All right. Have you seen this video before? State slide 20.
Yeah, I think you showed.
All right. Tell me if you see your car and just let me know when you see your car in this video.
Right there.
That's you up there, that white car?
Yeah.
Okay, play it a second. Okay. And did that show you on Park Lane taking a right on Springtree?
Yeah.
Who was in the car with you?
Just me.
All right. What did you see?
When as I turned, once I got like maybe by what's that stuff? An entryway in the parking lot for the store.
Uh-huh.
There was the young boy and it was two people chasing him. And by the time I got close by the entrance, he had ran out of shoe. You know, like ran across the street. They still chasing him. He stumbles and falls. He's trying to get back up. He's making up.
Wait, let me stop you real quick. You talk about the young boy. Did you see the young boy you're describing in that video?
Yeah.
Stakes number 20?
Yeah.
Okay. What was he wearing?
A hoodie.
Okay. You said they were chasing him. Who was they?
The man and his son.
Okay. Had you ever seen any of these people before?
No.
Okay. The man and his son, do you know who that man is now?
Well, yeah, now.
Okay. And who was that man?
His name Chow.
Okay. Do you see him here?
Yeah.
Okay. Where is he?
Right there with glasses.
So Rick Chow and his son, and Rick Chow's son were chasing the red shirt boy?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you see the boy in the red? Do you know him now to be Cyrus?
Yeah, now.
Okay. If I call him Cyrus, would you know him?
Yeah.
Did you get to see Cyrus's face when he was running?
Just this side when they crossed the street. And yeah, the right side of his face as I was advancing up Springtree.
Okay. What, if anything, did Cyrus have in his hand?
A book bag?
Okay. Okay. What else did he have in his hand? Anything?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. And how close did Cyrus, Rick Chow, and Andy Chow get to you while you're driving down Springtree?
Real close. I had to hit my brakes because if I wasn't paying no attention, I could have hit one of them. That's how close they was to my car.
Okay. So They ran in front of your car?
Yeah,
Okay. As they crossed Springtree?
yeah.
Okay. Were you able to see any kind of facial expressions that Cyrus was making?
No, not really. No.
Okay. What did you think when you first saw Rick Chow and his son Andy? Did Rick Chow and his son Andy, did they appear to be adults or did they appear to be young adults?
No, adults. And I thought that maybe it was the police maybe chasing him because when he was running, I could see his holster, you know, like, and I see people on the pictures in front of the stores for stealing, not being chased. So at first I was thinking that he was maybe a police officer.
Yes.
Was the police chasing the boy?
Yeah.
Cyrus. And you thought that because what did you see on Rick Chow?
I seen a holster with a gun in it.
And that was in plain view.
Yeah, it, like his shirt was flapping up as he was running.
Okay. Did Cyrus appear to be an adult or?
No, you could tell he was a kid.
Okay. All right, where was I? Let me see slide 24. All right, who's that white car that just stopped?
That's
Or
me.
Where about? Okay, play that back up a little bit, Stephanie, where this car goes by. All right, play. Okay, what are you doing there?
I'm slowing down because they running across the street.
Okay. If you hadn't slowed down, what was your fear that would happen?
I would have hit one of them.
Okay. You're driving up Springtree, going to your girlfriend's brother's house. Were you expecting 3 people to run across the path
No.
of your car?
No.
Okay. You slow down, almost to a stop. Is that what we just saw?
Yes.
Okay. And then when you go out of view of this camera shot, this is states 24. What are you doing next as you're driving?
Driving real slow, paying attention to the 3 people that's running.
Okay. Did you drive behind them or did you sort of pace them? You know what pace means?
Yeah, paced them.
Okay. Or did you go on ahead of them?
No, paced them.
All right. Why did you pace them?
They was chasing him, so I was really trying to see what was going on. And like I said, at first I thought it was like the police chasing somebody.
Okay. Well, you're in the right lane of travel, I assume.
Yeah.
All right. And so are they on, as you're pacing them, are they on your left or are they on your right?
They're on my left.
Okay. And are you focusing on the road or are you focusing on these people that just ran out in front of your car?
The people.
Okay. Did you have a good vantage point or a bad vantage point?
Good.
Okay. Why are you focused so much on the people instead of the road in front of you?
Like I said, trying to see what's going on. And then once he fell.
Wait a minute, we're going to get there.
Okay.
From that vantage point, did you ever see Cyrus pull anything out of his pocket?
No.
Okay. Did you ever see anything? Did he lose any clothing while you were watching him?
Shoe?
You saw him lose a shoe?
Yeah, he had a white Air Force One on.
Okay. Did he stop to get his shoe or did he continue running?
He kept running.
Okay. Did you see him drop any other things while he was around the shoe?
No.
Okay. Did you see him throw anything?
No.
Okay. Stephanie, can you play slide 21? All right. Is that what you're describing, what we just watched in that video?
Yeah.
Second, can you go back maybe like 5 seconds or so? Put the cursor here. All right, I want you to focus, Devonte, on this area.
Okay.
And I want you to speak up if you see your car or when you see your car.
Okay.
All right?
Now.
That's you?
Yeah.
Okay, so were you in close proximity to them or were you a great distance from them?
Close.
Was your vantage point good or did you have a poor vantage point?
Good.
Okay. And your testimony was you continued to pace them as they ran up the river?
Yes.
All right. He lost his shoe at some point. Had he already crossed Springtree or was he still in the parking lot side of Springtree?
No, he lost his shoe before he crossed the street.
Okay. And then you're saying he continued across the street?
Yeah.
Okay. What, if anything, happened to his book bag?
I wouldn't have known. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't have known if anything happened because once it fell, he didn't pick it back up.
Okay. Well, okay. Let's go ahead then and get to what you're talking about where he fell.
Okay.
Tell us what you observed about him falling.
Okay, so when he fell after he got across the street.
Okay.
It was something over there that it looked like he had to trip up over or something.
You saw him trip?
Yeah.
Okay. And were Rick Chow and Andy Chow in front of him when he tripped, or were they still behind him?
Behind him, but they was real close up on him when he tripped.
Okay. So when he tripped, how would you describe the fall?
He fell hard. The first fall was real hard.
Okay. Did he try to get back up, or did he get back up?
Yeah, he tried to get back up, but it was more so of a stumble versus him standing straight up.
Okay. Did you see the book bag again after we got up?
No, it was on the ground.
Okay. All right. Did you see anything in his hand at this point?
No.
All right. Was he able to get back up on his feet?
Yeah.
Okay. Then what happened?
It's like he stood up almost all the way up completely. He maybe took a step, if that, and that's when he shot.
Okay. And then what happened?
Like Cyrus fell. Once he fell, he was trying to like roll himself over, but I don't know if he could or not. But he was like putting his hands up as he was trying to roll himself over.
Okay.
But you could tell he was still out of breath. Like he was still breathing real hard.
Okay. Yes, that stays 25. You recognize what we're looking at here?
Yes.
Okay. Do you see the spot where you remember him taking that first fall?
Yeah.
Okay. Judge, I think probably with court permission, if Devonte could step down and point out.
That'll be fine.
Okay. All right, Devonte, all right, so this is, where, on States 25, is the gas station in front of us or behind us?
Behind.
Okay. And if we're right here, do you see the spot you were just describing where Cyrus took that initial fall?
Yeah.
All right, can you point to it with the pointer?
Yeah, it's like he took that first initial fell. He hit the ground real hard.
Okay. And speak up too, so she
Yeah, I said up there he hit the ground real hard. That's when he first fell.
Okay. Point to it again. Okay. So he was in the road and then he falls into the grass or he falls into the road?
No, he was in the grass and he fell into the grass, like on the side. He never
Okay.
got back in the road.
I got you.
Once they crossed the street this way,
Uh-huh.
he never went back towards the right.
Okay.
All his movement was on this side of the road.
I got you.
But he's running up the road, and does he trip over the curb, or did you see what he tripped over?
No, I couldn't tell what he tripped on.
Okay, but he fell towards the grass.
Yeah.
All right. And at this point, when he trips, where's Rick Chow? Can you point where he is?
He's like right behind. So if Cyrus trips up in here, Rick Chow.
All right. Can you say about how far behind him he was?
Maybe 2 feet, if that.
So he's right up here.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you're Cyrus, he's about this close.
Yeah.
All right. Where is Andy Chow? Rick Chow's son.
And when Cyrus fell, he's beside him.
Okay. These two, Rick's behind him or to the side of him?
Beside him with the son?
Yeah.
No, they side by side almost.
But they're right back in 2 feet or so is what your testimony is?
Yeah.
Okay, so about the distance, maybe give or take.
Yeah, give or take about this distance. Yeah.
Okay. Did they do anything to him while he's on the ground?
No.
Okay. Did you see anything in Cyrus's hand at that point?
No. Just the book bag had filled.
Okay. Did Rick and his son Andy allow Cyrus to get back up or attempt to get back up?
Yeah.
Okay. Then what happened?
So once he get back up, like I said, he fell. He's trying to get upright, but he stumbled after the second fall.
Okay.
And as he's trying to get up after that last stumble, he's trying to stand straight up so he can keep advancing because he's trying to get away from them. He's not once like trying to turn around or trying to go toward the street. He's trying to get to the apartments. He's going straight up.
Okay. That's what it appeared to be that he was trying to get to those apartments. And
Yeah.
what are those called again?
Brookside.
Okay. That's what it appeared to you that he was trying to make his way to those apartments?
Yeah.
Are you comfortable kind of demonstrating what you're talking about? I think I know, but you say he hits the ground and he's trying to get up and go, but he's stumbling. Can you kind of demonstrate that to the jury? Do you feel comfortable doing that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so the first fall, when he falls, it's like he completely falls all the way down almost.
All right. Chest to the ground. Almost.
And then he gets up, and as he's, like I say, he getting up, but he moving so fast, he's stumbling.
Okay.
So after the last stumble, it's like he's trying to get completely stand upright. So he maybe took a step or two after that, then that's when the shot went off.
Okay. And that was the second fall.
Yeah, well, you can say the second fall, yeah.
Okay. Did he ever get back up again after that?
After the shot, no.
Okay.
After he fell, I think I got shot.
And you're saying you saw him roll around?
And it's like he was trying, after he fell on the ground from being shot, it's like he was trying to turn over with his hands.
Okay. You take. Did you see anything in his hand at that point?
No.
Do you recognize this little area behind these trees to be where Cyrus came to rest?
Yeah, like on the left side of those trees, yes.
Right here, to
Yeah.
some degree? All right. Zoom back out a little bit. And we're still looking at states 25. All right, so I just want to be clear, correct me if I'm wrong, but you say the first time he fell, it was somewhere in this area.
Yeah.
And what I understood you saying, correct me if I'm wrong, was that Rick Chow and his son were somewhere in this area behind him?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you ever see Rick Chow out here in the road?
No.
Did you ever see Andy Chow out here in the road?
No.
Your testimony is that the two of them were, correct me if I'm wrong, I want you to just, I don't want to put any words in your mouth. But if Cyrus fell right here, you saw Rick and Andy side by side, I think you said this kind of area.
Yeah.
And why did you have such a good vantage point again?
I was in the road, and like I said, I was just staring at it. It was, I don't remember a car being in front of me or behind me, so I was driving real slow, just watching him the whole time.
Devonte, did you stay on scene after this?
Not really on scene. After the situation happened, I rolled back past. I saw all the older ladies around him. Then I went to the car wash up the street, That's why I still was on the phone with my mom. I was telling her what was going on, just trying to get my head on straight. And then I went right back down.
Okay. So, where did you turn around? Did you ever go to your girlfriend's, your girlfriend's brother's apartment?
No, I never made it.
All right. And did they live in this apartment that's over here to the left?
No, they live in the one that's all the way in the back.
Okay. Does this Springtree dead end into that apartment there?
I would say because Greenbrier is the last apartment back there, and I don't know if they have a back entrance. I think it's just the front entrance.
Is that Greenbrier?
I can't really tell from that picture.
So, but if I understand, you were going this way. Is this the driveway you turned around in to get back out after you saw the shooting?
No, I turned around a little bit past that.
That driveway?
Yeah, like up there.
Okay. And you just abandoned your plans to go to the girlfriend's brother's house?
Yeah,
Why did you abandon those plans?
because of the situation that happened.
Okay. You said you left to get your head straight, but you did return and speak to
Yes.
law enforcement?
Yeah.
Okay. And did you know any of these people before that day?
No.
Devonte, please answer any questions that Mr. Kent has for you.
Cross-examination.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a short break. Let's say we'll be back out at 10:45. Got some technological issues that we need to work through. So we'll take about a 15-minute break and we'll see you shortly. Do not discuss the case. And Mr. Bryant, don't discuss your testimony with anyone during the break. Okay? Yeah, and you can get down. You can go to the restroom. All right, we'll be at these till 10:45.
Just go sit outside. Just go sit outside.
Yeah. Yes. Come on back down, Mr. Bryant.
You want to put that on record with him?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. First, we appreciate you giving us a break to make sure we are ready to get proper for cross-examination. Secondly, at the bench, I made an objection, which was consistent with the court's pretrial ruling. During pretrial rulings, the state of South Carolina argued that they should be able to put a wall of shame up in front of the jury. We asked that it not be put up. And subject of compromise, the court asked the solicitor's offices all they were going to put it up and not make any discussion about these were people who had not been chased before. When this witness testified, and I think it was spontaneous, it was not elicited from the solicitor's office. However, this witness gave the same exact language that they said they would not be giving into. His statement on the record was, this was a wall where people who had not been chased before, something of that nature. I don't want to quote, but it was something of that nature. We immediately made an objection. The court at the bar basically gave us a choice. Did we want a curative instruction or did we want to move on? I was at the bench with co-counsel Swirling and McCullough. At that point in time, we thought it would be best to leave it alone and not to bring any light to it. The court gave us an option if we wanted a curative instruction. As a strategy decision, we chose against it. However, we were very concerned that this not come out again. Again, we agree it's not elicited from the solicitor's office, but it still is a concern of ours because that's something that the court said we don't have. Thank you, sir.
Yep, I think that accurately reflects the bench conference. I did give you all the options of curative or simply move along so as not to draw further attention to it. And I'll just let Mr. Bryant know, Mr. Bryant, and you weren't privy to that, so it's not your fault. You're not in trouble. Nobody's fussing at you. But we, as far as the photos and things, you may have knowledge of what those photos mean on the wall and in the store, but we're not discussing any of that as far as what that means or whether or not folks were ever chased or not chased. But we're just staying away from that so we don't prejudice any of the parties. So again, you didn't know about that. You weren't here for pretrial motions. Things like that happen. But just stay away from that for the remainder of your testimony.
Okay.
All right.
And Your Honor, we agree that even though it's not stricken from the record, it cannot be argued as if it's part of evidence in the record at this time, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Hold on a second. Just from, I guess, the media standpoint, I know we only have the one camera in here, but the clerk's office just got an email from a alleged concerned citizen in Washington, D.C., watching the trial, and says that, I don't know whether the person is a lawyer, knows something about procedure, but said they were able to see one of the jurors on camera.
Didn't happen.
Okay, well, I
The
just,
deputy, he's probably the top.
a blonde lady, it may, it was sent to the clerk's
And
office.
I can tell you it didn't happen.
Okay, well, just, we have,
I'm very cautious.
I know you are, and, but I just want to make sure, since it was sent to the clerk's office. It probably, the court said, a blonde hair with a pinkish outfit sitting close to the witness. So we're probably talking about the kids.
Make sure they know what I am.
That's an expert.
Yeah. Just wanted to address it for the record, to be sure.
No,
All right.
I think that circle is on.
Your Honor, we are ready.
Ready for cross? All right, Mr. Tolman, bring in the jury, please.
That is cool.
Hang on.
Jury is present, Your Honor.
Cross-examination.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Bryant, my name is Shaun Kent. I do not believe we've ever met each other. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, we never met.
And I'm going to go over a couple of rules so we can be on the same page as I'm asking you questions. Is that fair?
Okay.
And I do this with everybody. Just make sure we're both on the same page. Madam Court Reporter has taken down every single word that you are saying. You did a good job from the state, but she cannot take down head nods and shakes and things of that nature. So make sure you answer yes, no, and so on so she can get every word. Is that fair?
Okay.
Two, she cannot take down if the two of us are talking over one another. So if you'll give me opportunity to ask my question, I'll give you opportunity to answer the question. Is that fair?
Okay.
And if at any point in time I speak way too fast, and I've been told I do that, and you do not understand my question, if you simply ask me to repeat it, I will repeat it so you can have it read again. Is that fair? If I can remember the question I asked.
Okay.
Is that fair enough?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you prefer Mr. Bryant, Devonte? What do you want to be called? I want to give you a proper title.
Either or.
Okay, is it fine if I call you Mr. Bryant?
Yeah.
Mr. Bryant, I want to go through first the testimony that you offered the state of South Carolina just a few moments ago. Do you remember what you testified to?
Yeah.
And I want to first start at the beginning part of your testimony that you were giving to the jury when they were asking you questions about guns. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And when they were asking you questions about guns, they were asking you about the prevalence and the amount of guns in the community of children, 14-year-olds and so forth. Remember those questions?
Yeah.
And do you remember saying that it was basically normal that a lot of kids have guns?
Yeah.
And it is okay for them to have guns because it's a sign, a status or something of that nature, right?
I'm not saying okay, but
It's not okay, is it?
yeah.
It's not okay?
I didn't say that it was okay for a child to have a gun. I never said that.
And then let me follow that up with that question. It's not okay, is it?
I mean, it depends on what point you come from. I don't.
Please explain. What point would make it okay for somebody under the age of 15 to possess a firearm?
I mean, I wouldn't know.
Well, you do know. You just said it depends. So let the jury know, based upon the questions from the state and your answer, when is it okay for someone under the age of 14 or a child to have a gun?
I mean, I wouldn't know. I mean, everybody had their own viewpoint of it. That's why I say it depends.
And I'm asking your viewpoint, based upon your testimony, based upon what you've offered to this jury, when is it okay?
I mean, protection-wise, if you ask me,
Go on, please. I did ask you.
that's it.
What do you mean protection-wise?
Depending on the area you grew up in or the areas you stay in, maybe.
And so when the state of South Carolina put you on the stand, they understood that you felt it was okay to break the law for protection.
Objection to the question.
I'll refer.
All right, very great.
It is your testimony that it is okay to break the law for protection purposes.
No, I'm not saying. I never once said that.
Okay, tell me what you said. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Just, I don't remember, but I didn't say that.
No, you just said it a few seconds ago, that it would be okay for protection purposes for someone under the age of 14 to have a firearm. Is that what you just said?
That's what I said.
Is it legal for someone under the age of 14 to have a firearm?
No.
So would it be breaking the law for a person under 14 to have a firearm?
Yeah.
And so would your testimony not have just been, it is okay for someone under the age of 14 to break the law for protection? Isn't that your testimony?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
I guess? Because that's what they put you up to justify and say it's okay. So is that your testimony still to this jury?
Objection to the question and the implication.
I'll allow it, but be careful.
I am. Did you understand my question?
No, sir.
Well, let's move on just a bit. We'll go back to that. Do you own a firearm?
No.
You don't have a firearm.
No.
Did you have a firearm that day
No.
in your vehicle?
No.
You have a child yourself, if I'm not mistaken.
3.
And I think one of them would be 14 years old right now.
Yeah.
You would not want him to have a firearm.
No.
You would instruct him not to have a firearm.
No.
You would not want him to have a firearm for protection or status or anything.
No.
No, he would think it would be wrong. Correct? Correct?
Yeah.
It would be dangerous.
Yeah.
And you would not want your child in the community carrying a firearm.
No.
The solicitor's office asks you about your criminal record. You stand on the stand currently as a convicted felon.
Yeah.
And so you couldn't own a firearm anyway.
Yeah.
And so you stand over there convicted of 3 separate offenses.
I'm not sure how many. I'm not sure.
Not sure how many felonies you have?
No.
Were these all in Richland County?
Yeah.
And so were you prosecuted in this courthouse?
Yeah.
And so they are familiar with you?
I don't know.
Okay. When you talked to officers on the scene, well, let's go through this. You actually gave 2 separate statements to officers. One on a body cam on scene. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And then separately, you talked to another officer. Is that a fair statement? Like you sat down and met with an officer and gave an actual recorded interview. Remember that?
Yeah.
And I'm going to go backwards. I'm going to talk about the second interview first, because this was with a member of the Richland County Sheriff's Department who interviewed you.
They both were.
Okay? Both were Richland County officers.
Yeah.
They interviewed you, right?
Yeah.
They asked you what happened.
Yeah.
They asked your details.
Yeah.
They let you give the story.
Yeah.
And you gave them this story, and after you gave the story, do you remember one of the officers telling you, don't embellish, that doesn't fit the evidence?
Objection.
I don't know what that means.
Sustained.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
When you met with them, did they think you were exaggerating the story?
Objection, Your Honor,
No.
speculation of what somebody else believes.
Sustained.
When you gave the story to law enforcement, what was your belief when you left, when you talked to them? Do you believe they believed your version?
Objection, Your Honor, to what he believes somebody else believes.
I wouldn't.
Sustained. You're asking him to
That's fine,
determine
Judge.
what the officer believed.
When you gave your story to law enforcement, and I want to make it clear, you told law enforcement that, and I want to make sure it's good again, I want to make sure the testimony is good. At some point, you're saying the victim had his hands up,
Yeah.
and he shot when his hands were up. I just want to make sure. Tell me if I'm wrong.
No.
So explain it to me again so we can all understand.
When he was on the ground, like
Yes, sir.
after he fell from being shot, it's like he was trying to roll himself over. That's when his hands was up.
Now, there's no question he fell twice.
Yes, it is.
Your testimony is that he was shot the first time.
Which
I'm
reason?
asking, you tell me when he was shot, if he fell twice. Do you know exactly when he was shot?
You said if he fell twice after the second stumble. It wasn't two fallings.
Or was it two falls?
No.
Okay. And I guess I'm getting more confused, and you did it with the solicitor's office, but I need to know exactly what position he was in when he was shot. And if I'm not mistaken, when you were...
When you saying when he was shot, as in when he hit the ground?
No, when he was shot.
Like, oh, he was trying to stand completely up.
He was trying to stand completely up.
Yeah.
And I think when you were right here, you had him completely straight, correct?
What you mean, completely straight?
Was he standing completely up when he was shot, like this?
I mean, almost as if, yeah, almost.
And Mr. Chow, was he directly behind him?
No, not directly behind him.
If you can come down again for me and just put your body in the position that you saw, and I want to make sure I say this correctly, the position you saw Cyrus in when he was shot. Does that make sense? I'll make sure you understand my question before you do. Do you understand my question?
Yeah.
Yeah, can you come down from the stand and just show the jury the position, the exact position his body was in when he was shot that you saw?
Yeah. So, like I said, he was almost like completely up. Like he was getting up like this. He wasn't here. Yeah.
Okay.
No, he was like here, but still trying to move and get up at the same time. You get what I'm saying?
I do, and I'm just confused because I thought with the solicitor's office you said he was straight up. So you're not saying he was
He's
straight
trying to get straight up. He's trying to get up like how I'm standing, like this. He's trying to get to this point, but he never could get to this point. He's still stumbling, trying to catch his movement. That's what's going on.
That's what you saw.
Yeah.
Okay. And then after he was shot, what happened from that
He
position?
fell. He fell completely again.
Right there.
Yeah.
Didn't move any further.
It's like maybe a try to turn over type of thing, maybe.
So where the body came to rest is where he was shot.
I don't know where his body came to rest at. Because it was so many people gathered around him, I couldn't see exactly nothing. All I could see is like legs and feet, and you know the older lady's son was on their knees and all of that. I couldn't really exactly see him. Like I'm looking at this desk right here,
Yes,
I
sir.
couldn't literally just see everything. I see everybody huddled around him.
Okay, go ahead back up there. Thank you. Now I want to go backwards to the body cam footage. You remember you said on the side of the road you talked to the officers while
Yeah.
they were there?
Yeah,
Is that a yes?
yeah.
Do you remember telling the officer on the body footage that you watched the shot through your car mirror, through your rearview mirror?
No,
You do not remember that?
no.
And if I was to find testimony or anything, you would dispute saying that to anyone that day?
I don't remember that.
Is it possible you could have said that?
I don't remember that at all.
And you had mentioned that when you were driving by the scene, you were going at a very slow pace.
Yeah.
And if there was video of your car not going a slow pace, would you disagree with that?
Yeah.
And so, how fast would you say you would have been going?
I don't know.
I need you to guesstimate because you said you were tracking them. So how fast you going? 1 mile, 2 mile?
I don't know. I can't answer that. I don't know. I don't remember.
You had mentioned in your testimony that you did not see anyone throw anything. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And you said you saw the book bag laying directly on the ground?
Yeah.
And it just had fallen?
When he fell, the book bag fell. The first time.
Immediately at the same spot?
Mm-hmm. Well, no, I wouldn't say the same spot. I can't remember exactly where, but I wouldn't say the same spot. I think it kind of fell down, so I can't really remember.
Well, you testified to it, and so that's why I want to make sure, because you testified on direct that it fell right there. So if you
Yeah.
want to correct that now, please.
I mean,
correct
can you explain what right there is? It could be here, it could be there. You're saying right there. I don't know what right there is.
Well, I need to know because that was your testimony. Where did the book bag fall?
On the ground.
Where?
I mean, I have to look or something. I can't just say where exactly it was on the ground.
You saw the book bag.
Yeah.
You saw the book bag on the ground.
Yeah.
It was not down a hill in some grassy area. You personally saw it.
Yeah, it was on the ground.
Okay. And your testimony is you personally saw the shoe come on.
Yeah.
Beg your courts and told me for one moment. Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Now, you are not testifying. I want to make sure I'm clear on this. You are not testifying today that the young man was shot while he was on the ground.
No.
Have you ever before, under oath, any testimony ever testified that he was shot on the ground?
Testify. It was my first time
Yeah.
testifying.
Have you ever given any statements or anything to suggest that he was on the ground?
I believe so, I think.
You believe so? You have actually before to law enforcement said he was on the ground when he was shot.
That's what I was thinking. I mean, so much going on at one time. You know, like right after the incident, I'm calling my mom. So much going on. The social media thing going on. There's so much going
I
on at
got
one
it.
time.
So much going on, so much stuff in our heads, so much to pay attention to, and then time to figure out a different story.
No,
Well-
not a different story.
Well, originally, you have told law enforcement that he was on the ground when he was shot, correct?
Okay.
Not okay.
Yeah.
And we now realize that's not possible, correct?
Yeah.
And you know that's not possible, correct?
Yeah.
And now today you're telling something a little different, correct?
Not just today. When I spoke with him too,
When you spoke with who?
officer.
Okay. But you understand, we always want to try to get someone's statement as close to the event as possible, right? Because we want to get as accurate as possible. Is that a fair statement?
No.
You don't want to get someone's memory as close to the event as possible?
I mean, yeah, but that's not fair because no.
That's not fair. We don't want to know accurate. We don't want someone to plan. We don't want someone to think of something. Don't
No.
you want someone's memory as close to the event as possible?
No.
No? Why not?
I mean,
I mean, why not?
I don't know. But I mean, it shouldn't matter. If something happens, something happens. It don't matter when you ask them.
You got that exactly right. It shouldn't matter. When something happens, it should stay consistent. Is that a fair statement?
That's not what I just said.
So tell me what you said.
I just said when something happens. I never said nothing about being consistent or anything. I didn't say that.
Okay. So should someone's story change?
No.
No. That's what consistent means. So it should be consistent from one time to the next. Is that fair?
I mean, you said that, yeah.
You don't think a story should be consistent?
Yeah, story is consistent.
A story is consistent.
Should be, yeah.
Should be consistent. So at one point you told a story that he was shot directly on the ground, and then today you're saying he wasn't. You agree that's not consistent?
Yeah, but I think there was a misunderstanding because I don't think the officer was really understanding what I was saying. So I think he kind of misunderstood my explanation. That's what I think.
That's what you think?
Yeah.
And a few minutes ago, I asked you, you specifically stated that you said he was on the ground when he was shot, and there was a bunch going on in your head, and you were incorrect.
No, I didn't say that. I said the women was around him on the ground as I was passing back by the scene. So
A
I
moment
couldn't
ago, when
see.
I directly asked you about telling an officer or giving a statement that you said originally that he was on the ground when he got shot. That's what I asked you.
Yeah, but you just asked me something totally different pertaining. You didn't ask me the same thing.
What?
What you asked me prior to the question that you just asked me.
Do you remember? Let's make it very simple. Do you remember at some point in time telling an officer, anybody, that Cyrus was on the ground when he got shot?
Yeah.
That's a yes.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not a confusion. That's not a trick question. That's a yes.
Yeah.
Today, you're saying that's different, correct?
Yeah.
You have met with law enforcement, solicitors, everybody in between those two times. Yes?
Yeah.
And we realize the first thing that you said about shot on the ground is not possible.
No.
Yes, sir.
A moment ago, I was asking you if there would be any video or anything of that nature of your car going at a fast level, and you said there would not be. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah.
And you do recognize your car?
Yeah.
And you know what it looks like. What type of car is it?
Honda Accord.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna have to send you out to address a matter. I'll be back to you as quick as possible. I apologize. We'll, again, don't discuss the case, and we'll get back as soon as we can.
sure I don't have to publish. I have no problem with that.
Okay. Does that work for y'all?
If that makes it cleaner and easier for you, that means I'll have to come
I
up
don't
with
have any problem with it, yeah, I don't have any problem with that. I do have a problem with this when it's published, but I'm saying it's not.
Okay.
It's not, I understand it's concerned if we publish it, we will introduce it in evidence, and not be very concerned with it, we're just gonna publish it. So my only question there, if you wanna come up there and I'm showing you the correction, what you do, and can have all one come there, in my lap. We're just talking, okay.
So we're back off the record?
I think we're ready to go, yeah, I think we got,
Your Honor, so what we are going to do, sorry for confusion, is rather than publish to the entire panel, we will utilize to refresh his memory.
Okay.
There will be no objection. They have no problem with someone from our team showing him the camera, so it speeds it up a little bit.
Okay.
And we go from there.
Very good.
And we're trying to get our technical staff here, this poor lawyer.
We'll let you know when you're ready.
I just want to make sure. We're looking at the right one. It's different.
Don't bring it to jury, please, sir.
Are we fine with that? Yes.
Jury's present, John.
Thank you, Mr. Tolbert. All right, Mr. Kent, Mr. Ross.
Thank you. Mr. Bryant, I promise you, I'm almost done. When we took a break, I was asking you about your car, you remember things of that nature?
Yeah.
And the direction of travel,
Yeah.
the speed your car would have been going,
Yeah.
and what direction you would have been looking at the shooting.
Yeah.
Is that all? Do you remember all of that?
Yeah.
And then there was a question if you remember the speed and things of that nature, and I talked to you about a potential video.
Yeah.
Well, I was able to show you a video. Would it help refresh your memory as to what your car was actually doing that day?
Yeah.
Okay. At this point in time, Your Honor, I would ask one of the lawyers from our table to show the video just to him.
Okay.
And now, what we're going to do is we're going to show you two videos. I don't want you to talk about them. I don't want you to say anything about them. Just watch the two videos that I'm going to show you. Is that a fair
Okay.
statement?
Yeah.
Okay. And Mr. Scott's going to come up there as well. Look at what you watch.
Shaun, do you want me to play both?
Both of them, right? Just both of them. Just let me know if they both after they both them. So make sure no one is.
I know.
Okay.
I'm trying to. Right, maybe start this one. Did you see that whole one?
Yeah.
Devonte, have you now seen both of the videos?
Yeah.
And a little louder so make sure she can. Is that a yes?
Yeah.
And the videos, that's your car in the video?
Yeah.
And that car shows the direction you're traveling,
Yeah.
and it shows the speed you're traveling,
Yeah.
and you are the only one inside of your vehicle.
Yeah.
And that car shows both directions that you're driving.
Yeah. It goes the same way. Yeah.
Yeah, it's different angles.
Yeah.
Okay? And one of the videos shows your car in one position that will be an opposite side of the shooting. Is that a fair statement? Going past the shooting.
No, you can't explain that to me, brother.
How about you explain it so I'm not the one asking the bad questions? What did the video show you?
It showed me going up Springtree.
Okay. Away from the shooting.
Yeah.
Is that a yes?
Yeah. Not really away from it, but it's still like right there. I mean, that's the entrance of the apartments.
And the interests of the apartments are past where the incident happened.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And that's what we see as your car going past where the incident happened.
Yeah.
Okay? And that would go along with the question which I asked you from the body cam that you said on scene, I was looking at it through my rear view.
No.
Okay. But you do remember that question
Which one?
about looking at it through your rear view.
No.
You don't remember me asking you that question earlier?
No.
You don't remember me asking you a question about what happened on the scene and you telling an officer that you had looked at it through your rear view?
I don't remember that.
Okay. But you remember that question?
Yeah.
And you understand what I'm saying about that video that shows your car past the scene, right?
Yeah.
And that would make sense that you're looking at it through through the rear view mirror.
No.
Okay. And two, the other thing that we're showing is you're not going 1 or 2 miles an hour in that video. Would you agree with that?
Well, the first one, it looks like it, yeah.
Is your position that the video that we showed you, you were going 1 or 2 miles an hour?
I wouldn't say 1 or 2 miles per hour, but very slow, yes.
Very slow. What is your definition of very slow?
I mean, it's just exactly what I said.
What speed limit would be very slow?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I need to know because that's a big deal. How fast you were going that day.
I would just be guessing. I don't have a direct answer, like a direct speed limit answer. I don't know.
And I just showed you a video showing you how fast you were going. That refreshed your memory. You
Yeah.
say from that video you can't tell how fast you were going?
No.
Asked, objection, asked and answered, Your Honor.
Several times, sustained.
Thank you, Marty. That's all the questions I have.
All right. Redirect.
Devonte, do you know where those camera angles, where they were from?
Those look like the apartments he tried to make it to.
Okay. So your testimony, from what I remember, was that you were driving. At some point, you do pass the scene where Cyrus came.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And is it your testimony that at some point after you drove past, you were still looking over your shoulder?
Yeah, looking over my shoulder. Yeah.
Okay. And I think your testimony is you turned around and went back out.
Yeah. When I got a little bit past what he showed me, I turned around in the middle of the road.
Okay. But did you almost stop in those videos they just showed you?
Yeah. That's how slow I was going.
Okay. Now, one more time. My understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, when you're watching, and do you remember the video that we had, I think it might be 24 or 21, where it shows Cyrus running and a shoe comes off? Remember?
Yeah.
All right, and you saw your car in that video?
Yeah.
Okay. And does that depict how close in relation you were to Cyrus and the two Chows?
Yeah.
Okay. And you said you continued up the road.
Yeah.
When Cyrus hit the curb and fell to the ground, how did you describe that fall?
Hard, real hard.
All right. Is this or is this not an accurate depiction of what you were explaining? As he's getting up, he doesn't fully make it upright. He's still. Is this accurate?
Yeah,
to some degree?
yeah, he's trying to stand up right, but he's still moving too
And
fast.
he's still moving forward, trying to get his balance.
Yeah, they're trying to get away from that
And then he falls for the last and
For-
final time.
for being shot. Yeah,
Okay. And how do you know this?
I seen
Thank you, John.
Anything already, Carl?
Brief, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Will not take long. When, based upon the solicitor's questions, on the scene, you specifically told the officer, do you remember, that Cyrus was facing him when he got shot?
No,
You do not remember saying that?
no.
Thank you.
Anything else? All right, sir, you can step down. Thank you for being here. Is there any time that's with us?
Yes, Your Honor. State Constable Greg Walker.
You're encouraged, sir.
Yes.